angels fall to hell. The Catholics are going to really love us about this one. So it almost sounds like, wow, is this another king of hell? No, it's a total different meaning. It's about the churches denying the molestation of little boys and what goes on in the club behind closed doors, although we're always personified as the big sinners in the world, but yet little do we know politics and religion are the biggest sinners in the world. So yes, more than likely people like me and Larry will go to hell for the life we lived. The only difference is when we're down there, we will have the pitchfork and the priest will have the shovel. Pandemonium, which is a really great song. I like this. It's about how the media blows up all the negativity in the world. And, some people have I've heard people overreacting and moving out of places, moving away from places, quitting their jobs. I mean, I've thought about letting my car payment go because I'm like, well, the world's going to end in 2012, so what are you going to do to get your money? But, the media is the higher the ratings, the more money. It's all about money. So Pandemonium is what the media sells. More like, not like CNN and all that stuff. It's pretty true to heart, although they still thrive on all the negativity. But more like National Enquirer. A kid was born with 3 heads and that kind of stuff. Monarch of Bloodshed. Simply about terrorists. People that think they're going to be some kind of angel or god because they wreck a plane into a building or blow their shit away. Again, choice of freedom of religion, whatever you believe is cool, but personally I wouldn't put a bomb up my ass and walk into a cafe and kill a bunch of people just because my religion says I need to do that. But hey, to each their own, right? Simply about the mosh pit. So, it's about the mosh pit and the frenzy and all the excitement that goes on in a mosh pit, which we've all been in one, I think. If you're watching this and you're into metal, if you haven't, then try it someday. Summer of Hate, awesome. Larry wrote this one as well, and he writes the demented songs. No, we both do. But Larry really picks some great subjects that, when he presents them, I'm just like, oh, where do you come up with this stuff? But it's genius. Summer of Hate is about Charles Manson. Not glorifying him, not depriving him, but the insanity that lived in this guy's mind, which is almost intelligent. Does that make sense? You can be so insane that you could be smart. Well, serial killers are very smart, although we say they're insane. They have to be to figure out how to do this and keep doing it without getting caught, but eventually they do get caught, so they're not that smart. But anyways, Summer of Hate is about the crimes that Charles Manson committed with the Sharon Tate stuff back in 1969 or something like that, when I was born. I was just kidding. Death Trap, I wrote that song. Kind of a special meaning to this song. When we recorded The King of Hell, I stayed at the studio a lot instead of driving back and forth for about 40 minutes from where I lived from the studio. And the studio had a nice little living facility and a couch that I could sleep on, and it was easy for me to get up and start recording in my pajamas with one ball hanging out. No, I'm just kidding about the one ball, but I do have 2. And anyways, there was this movie, which if you haven't seen it, you guys got to see it. And I think there's 3 movies, but the movie is called Cube. And what Cube is all about is about this insane place where like 6 people wake up and they don't know why they're in this place or where the hell they're at, and it's all these little rooms that you go through, and you have to turn this hatch to go through another room. Well, in some rooms you get to go into because you're trying to find your way out, but in other rooms there's these traps. These traps with guillotines and slicing wires and flamethrowers, and so eventually these people start getting smart and they realize that the rooms are triggered by sensors, so they start tying their shoes together, throw them into the next room to see if something is going to happen, and sure enough, usually it's something burns up the shoe or something slices it, and like, okay, that room's not cool. Anyways, if you watch part 3, like I said, there's 3 movies. At the end of the whole thing, you find out it's a government project, kind of like a joke. And all these people that they picked were picked for a reason because of some intelligence or some job that they have. It's a crazy movie, but you got to watch it, and that's what Death Trap is all about. Anger, which Larry wrote this one again. Now, since this is going to be public, I'd rather not say exactly who it is about, but it is about a past individual in our lives that caused Larry a lot of anger. A lot of betrayal and a lot of things that probably just didn't sit well in his heart after all these years, and he finally got to get it out. Bless Larry's heart for that anger song. Such a love ballad. Trinity of Heresy. That is kind of maybe a little small continuation from The King of Hell. And once again, Larry wrote the majority of it. We wrote this song together, which we do really well when we collaborate ideas. This one is about what, and then here we go with some religion again, but this is what we feel sometimes that Satan thinks, about God. Like, at one point, according to the Bible and according to certain religions, he was his best buddy at one point, and then he threw him out because he disagreed with one thing. God said, I want the sky blue. Satan said, what if we had it red and blue? Get the fuck out of here. Don't you question mine. So, in a funny way, we always make jokes about that, but yeah, it's about the anger that he feels because he was thrown out, and he somehow still doesn't understand, just because he questioned one or two things, why did he throw him out for that reason. So he is the anger, and he portrays his anger in the world that we live in, because that's why we have so much hate. Alma Negra, which is Spanish, obviously, and Alma Negra means black soul. So it's about serial killers, but it's not about the evil of the serial killers, it's about the evil that enter them, and it's the Alma Negra who gets the biggest enjoyment of their actions and what a serial killer does, and it's the evil entity that has made them insane and do the things that they do. Zero One, the beginning of the next new record. Zero One is just a small little ballad with one little verse and one almost like a small chorus, and it's about the beginning of the new world. If we ever see the end of the world and there's someone that survives, like the movie 2012 kind of. So if there's any survivors, they'll be able to go, okay, everything's done, everything's destroyed, everything's wiped out. Today our lives start over, and it's January 1st, 01, the year. That's what that's all about. And the bonus tracks, well, Scorpions wrote Animal Magnetism and Saxon wrote Heavy Metal Thunder, so you ask them. Kind of weird talking to a little machine like that.
Talking to a bottle.
And a bottle, yeah, I know. It's like this little camera's just looking at me.
Are you a camera?
That's my buddy now. Hey, let's grab a drink.